Good morning. My story starts, well, as Mike would like to say, back in the 1900s. It was about 1995 was the first year that I was a Christian English teacher over in Vietnam. And I would end up spending 4 years in ministry there, but that was almost cut very short. My American teammates in Vietnam had actually been there the year before me, and they had become very close friends with the Christians in a little Protestant church, the only Protestant church. It was government approved in a city of 1 million people, a little different from Bloomington Normal. Now, even though it was government approved, the government still, they put plants in, like informants, people who appeared to be very strong Christians in the church, but in fact were feeding back information to the government all the time. Well, these close Vietnamese Christian friends had invited us out on a picnic a couple of hours into the mountains, and we were excited about going. Now, the weekend before that picnic was supposed to happen, the leaders of our American organization took the train in to talk to us because they knew our phones were bugged. And so if they're gonna have this kind of conversation, they needed to be in person with us. They said they'd been in a lot of prayer, and they had heard a lot of things about how there was a crackdown on Christians, both Vietnamese and foreign Christians, and that we needed to be particularly careful right now. So tearfully, they asked us, please step away from the church and step away from your Vietnamese Christian friends. And we were pretty devastated, but we knew this was from God, and so we knew we really needed to obey that, and we did. Well, the picnic went on without us the next week, and when the group arrived at their location, the police were waiting for them. The informants had let the police know where they would be. There were 2 men from Hong Kong, and they were immediately deported. That would have been us had we been on the picnic. And the main leader of the Vietnamese Christians was imprisoned. And it's hard at first to think, well, why were we saved? Why did God keep us from that picnic and him go to it? But in the years that I was in Vietnam, he would be imprisoned time and time again for his faith, and he would just share the gospel with every prisoner in those prisons. And so God had this plan for him, and he had a plan for us. Collectively, my teammates and I spent another 15 years ministering in Vietnam. Sure, our phones were bugged, our emails were read, and visitors were screened. But in spite of it all, we had this really blessed ministry, a ministry that would not have happened if God, our defender, hadn't intervened and stopped us from going on a picnic. My name is Tammy Truitt-Simeone, and this is my war story.